good morning. I am here with Jon Smith from Guaranteed Rate Affinity. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thank you. And we wanted to talk a little bit about a program that Guaranteed Rate Affinity has called a 2-1 Buydown. So I'm going to let Jon tell you a little bit about that.
Hey everyone. Thanks for doing this, Ashley.
Thank you.
You're making me do videos, and I never do this, so this is good.
Out of
Anyways,
that comfort zone.
I know. Yeah, everyone's talking about a 2-1 buy down right now. I think the biggest objection that we hear right now in the marketplace is how high rates are and how high payments are. And so we came up with a program. I mean, we weren't the original people to come up with this, but we've also implemented what we call a 2-1 buy down. And the idea behind the program is that we can get a lower interest rate and a lower payment for the first 2 years on the loan. Mm-hmm. And so, if rates are at 6.5% today, that means for the first year that you'll be at 4.5%. Second year, 5.5%, and then in the third year, you go up to the original rate of 6.5%. And then your rate stays at 6.5% from year 3 until year 30.
Okay.
So
who actually pays for the buy down? How does that work?
So that's going to come as a seller concession.
Okay.
So when the deal is structured, you would go in and present it to the seller. We would let you know exactly how much it would cost for the buy down, and you would just go in and ask the seller to provide a concession to pay for the buy down.
Okay. Yeah. So using the example of a 6.5% interest rate, it would be 4.5% the first year, 5.5% the second year. What if at that point the interest rates dropped below 5% and they wanted to refinance? What happens to the money that the seller paid?
So that money that the seller paid stays in an account, almost like an escrow account. It's a subsidy account, and that money is used towards the refinance to help, with cost or with, paying down principal on the next loan that they get.
Okay. So the buyer gets that money, it stays
Correct.
with them, they don't lose it.
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
we don't keep it. It goes right back to the consumer.
Okay.
So.
Great. Could you give us an example of what that would look like on like a $400,000 house?
Sure.
Just use around even
Yeah. So let me pull this up here. So at 6.5%, the payment for a $400,000 loan amount would be $2,528.27. So during the first year with the buy down, you'd save $501.53.
$500.
Yep, a little over $500 savings in the first year.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
It is. I mean,
Yeah.
it's real. It's real money, And then during the second year, the savings is $257.11.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what are the interest rates doing right now? This last week, did they go up? Did they stay the same? Did they go down?
So last week was huge. Last week, I pulled up an article from MSNBC, and there was a 60 point basis point drop in interest rates on last Thursday because inflation was showing that it kind of cooled down a little bit. So don't know how long it'll last, but we'll see what happens.
That's a huge drop, though.
It was one of the biggest drops that we've seen since COVID.
Oh wow.
So yeah.
So don't wait.
So lock your loans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because Guaranteed Rate Affinity also does a lock-and-shop. So you can lock in your rate today. And how long is that rate good once you lock it?
So we can do 30, 60, or 90 days.
Okay.
You don't have to be under contract. Typically, when you do a rate lock, you have to be under contract. You don't have to be under contract for this. So while you're shopping for a home, you lock the rate in, and because with the way the market is swinging, I mean, you could be approved for 400 today, and because the rate drops, now you're down to 350.
Wow.
So, or whatever the numbers are.
Right.
So yeah, so if you lock the rate down, at least you don't have to worry about things changing while you're shopping for a house.
Okay.
So.
What if you get, last question,
Yeah.
what if you get locked in and then in a couple weeks the rates drop again?
So once you go under contract, we'll do a free float down.
Okay.
So we can float the interest rate down once they go under contract.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. That all sounds like great information if you ask me, and great reasons to start looking into that house that you've been eyeing for weeks and weeks, waiting for the interest rates to come back down. If you have any questions about the 2-1 buy down or the lock and shop, let me know. I'll get you in touch with John and see what we can do to help you with your home buying dreams. Thank you so much. Thank you, John.
Bye guys, thank you.